This video will cover the install and testing of the EMIT data relay, which connects to various panels via Modbus for remote data collection and callouts. The exact wiring will depend on the panel type, though they will be similar. Because of this, there is an install guide for different panels available. This video will cover an EMIT ETS panel as an example. Parts included will be the data relay module, a wire kit, antenna bracket, DIN rail section with stops, and instructions. Tools required will be a drill with 7/8 bit, small screwdriver, and possibly wrenches if using the antenna bracket. First, install the EDR into the panel in a suitable DIN rail location. If there is no suitable location, you will have to mount the included piece of DIN rail somewhere in the panel. Install DIN rail stops to each side of the EDR. Next, wire power and ground to a 1 amp fuse. Connect the Modbus AB wires from the master port of the EDR to the slave port of the annunciator or panel. For an ETS panel, these will go to pins 7 and 8 of the EIM. For the EIM, the wires will connect A to A, but note that for Ultronic panels, A goes to B and B goes to A. In most cases, the termination switch should be on both ends. If a CAD engine controller is present, the CAN data bus can be connected to pins 12 through 14. If it is an older A3 controller, the pins 9 and 10 can also be attached to the CDL bus. For an ETS panel, these will jump to the same terminals on the existing data translator, which should already have an engine connection. For other panels, this 1 or 2 pairs of wires will go to the CAT panel and connect as shown on the included diagram. If the CAT CAN bus was connected, check for a termination resistor in the CAT panel, shown here. If it is present, remove it since the module will now be the termination. Drill a hole in the top of the panel to install the antenna. Alternately, you can use the included bracket to attach to the side of the panel or a pole. Next, install the antenna and attach the nut. Connect the 3 antenna wires, making sure to link GPS to GPS port and 3G 4G to the cell port and WLAN to the Wi-Fi port. Tuck away excess wiring if possible. Install the fuse and power on the EDR module. Generally, the install will be complete at this step. Every 15 minutes, the module will send data to the site, which can be checked at data.emictechnologies.com for recent data. In this example, while recording, the install took us 35 minutes. To verify that everything is working, it is a good idea after the install to connect to the Wi-Fi console locally. This will be discussed in the next section. Connecting to EDR Wi-Fi console. Once the module is powered on, use a computer and look for a Wi-Fi network with the EDR serial number. Connect to the network with the password EMIT, all lowercase. Open a browser and go to the address http://172.16.16.1. Testing and debugging. Open the Modbus Master Table tab and then open the table. For rows with the register, you should start seeing values being read. They are usually only updated once a minute. Some values will have an age of never if not present, which is okay. Under Alerts, the current run register should appear correct and not be timed out. If the unit is running, the fault reg is probably not relevant. However, it should not say timeout. Troubleshooting. If you don't see values or there are timeouts, check the following. 1. Check that the network config is set to 9600 baud and use serial is checked. 2. Check the network config on the panel. For EIM ETS panels, the Modbus config should be the same as this screenshot, with the line control at 9600 8 N 1 and the IDs 10 for EIM and 70 for Annunciator. For TTD, the RTU should be 1, the port should be 0, and the baud should be 0. For DD40, the serial mode should be 485 and not A485. The baud rate should be 9600 and the node number should be 1. For DE3000, node should be 1 and port 3 should be set to Modbus 9600. Port 1 does not matter. For Centurion C4, control port 2 mode should be RS485 and port 2 baud should be 9600. For other panels, there should be similar settings to check that baud is 9600 and node is 1. 3. Check wiring. Make sure the wiring matches the install guide for the panel. There are specific guides for each annunciator. Once data is showing up, verify on the main table that scaling is correct. For example, sometimes panels will report a value as times 10 to allow a decimal. In this case, you will notice a reading is 10 times its true value. Just change the scaling column to 0.1 in this case. Check under the Debug tab for the cell status under the heading Connection Information, and the signal strength should be a valid number. If there is no signal, verify antenna wiring and then try turning the antenna. If there is still no signal, a higher antenna may be needed. More information. For more information, go to data.emictechnologies.com/wiki and go to the section EDR for articles about the module or telematics for articles about the service and website.